Hi, I'm Steve Neal, and this is Elliot. We welcome you to a catastrophic event. I want to introduce a series of videos David Wilson put together to help you become more medically independent. First is a video we did on the Hauswiser hanging air dryer that David recommends. We demonstrated it at the studio, and I loved it so much that I bought one for myself. Well, I thought I did, but it turned out to be a different brand, a Coopache, which I filled with some herbs and filmed myself checking them when they're ready to be processed. I will provide links to both bags below all my videos. The next video is of David using his encapsulator to finish harvesting his herbs. Again, I followed his lead and bought one. It's an incredible time saver. I will put a link to that as well. Another video has clips for each plant that David talked about in his interview, which will help you to identify them more easily. The next one highlights the additional plants David had initially wanted to include in our interview, but we ran out of time. It's a compilation of the pictures and videos he made at his house, with me narrating the growing conditions they need and what people use them for. The next video is a picture of the books David recommends and a brief description of the books I recommend to anyone wanting to delve deeper into herbalism, along with links to buy them from Amazon. On a side note, I will receive a small percentage of the sale price if you purchase anything from one of my Amazon links. The last video will be of me discussing my allergies and how, after over 5 years of absolute misery, I was able to start living again through herbal medicine.
This is a way to dry herbs. Comes with this little scissor thing. It's got that nice pouch.
These are nice pruning shears.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're good for smaller stuff. Okay, now this part right here, when you're opening up, you really do have to be careful. It's just like, the shade things for your car.
Okay, so it's
spring-loaded. Yeah, so by undoing these,
okay,
this opens up. Now watch this. La la.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now.
So what you got? 1, 2, 3, 4,
8.
5, 6, 7, 8. 8
Yep.
compartments.
So it's got this little hook right here. You've got a little Velcro strap right here so that it can break away, supposedly, if there's too much weight, but I think it would break on the seam. It's collapsible, expandable. It's UV stabilized. You can wash it. You just simply open it up, and in this case,
Yeah, I'll go ahead and hold it for you.
all right,
Move out of the way. There you go.
you just take your mullein leaves right here. Okay, you got a bunch of them. Throw it in there. Spread it around a little bit. Let's see, let's angle it down. So spread it around a little bit like that. You want to give it a little bit of room. Put a little bit more in.
The beauty of this is it keeps bugs away.
Yes.
And it's free. That is incredible. Like I have a Excalibur
Zip it up.
dehydrator,
Set it up.
which I love.
Done.
But this is free.
Yeah.
And
the volume that a person can dry in here is vastly more than any electric dryer.
exactly. This is great. And
Yeah, this is my fourth. I use these.
you have,
This is my fourth.
wow.
Yeah.
And you recommend this particular brand? Is there a reason this brand over another brand, or this is just one you?
This is the one that I started with, and I've just stuck
Yeah.
with it. I know there are some brands that are cheaper on there by probably $10. I think this one was like maybe $32.
I think it was 29 or something. Yeah, so something like that.
Yeah.
And I just ordered one.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I mean, he sold me on one anyway.
Yeah, and so what you can do when I'm letting things dry, so let's get this down a little bit so they can see. Okay, so let's say that this is drying. After 1 or 2 days, you can come in, hit the bottom, kind of toss them a little bit, move it around, zip that one back up, and then again, it's so fun because you can just take and just collapse the whole thing, even if it has stuff inside.
Now, let me ask you this: Do you dry things in the sun, Or do you dry things in the shade?
Well, partial shade.
Partial shade.
It's out on my deck, so it does get some direct sunlight, but I try and stay away from the direct sunlight. Number one, the heating. Number two, the sun bleaching. And number three, it can deactivate some compounds inside of it. So keeping it in the shade, and the most important part of this is making sure that it gets a nice breeze, being able to move, because the breeze will move sideways and then also up and down.
Well, and that's where you get your most evaporation.
Yes.
It's the breeze.
The breeze,
going through it.
not necessarily the heat, it's the breeze.
Right. And you don't want to fill this up, because the more you put in there, the harder it is for it to dry.
Yeah, a good way to fill these up is to just basically cover the entire bottom.
Okay.
And then, like this, you could put a little bit more in there. And you wanna be concerned about mold.
Right.
If you're using leaves or berries that have higher amounts of water in them. And you can just drop that down. Boom, just like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So you wanna make sure that there's space for the airflow going through it. You wanna make sure that it's not in direct sunlight. And we were just talking about berries. So what I've done is started pre-drying them in the electric dryer first,
Okay.
just to get that initial volume of water out. And I'm talking about blueberries specifically. And then I transferred them into this to finish it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and these hot summer, July and August days are absolutely amazing for this. I already have stuff that's dry that I put out 2 days ago. Like, I could crunch it up dry.
Wow. And again, the price is right.
Yeah.
It's all natural.
Yep, yep. I'm trying to stay away from electricity or gasoline operated. I like hand tools and stuff like this that just simply work. And it's efficient, and the volume that I can dry is great.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, thank you again,
You are very welcome.
and thank you.
See ya.
Hi there. I'm Steve Neal, and this is Timbo, and we are doing a review of the drying bag that Dave Wilson recommended on our video the other day, and I just wanted to see how things went. I put some of the mullein from Dave in the top part, and some white yarrow, basil, and mint in these others, and I put them in 5 days ago. I think it looks good, but let's check it out. So. Leaves feel good, nice and crispy, like Dave was mentioning, and there's still plenty of fur on it, but yeah, that looks good, the mullein. What do you think, Timbo? Huh? Let's check this one out. Everything looks good, everything looks dry. Here's some of the yarrow, nice and dry, and you can see some of the leaves here, definitely ready to be ground up. My favorite is the basil. I love the smell of basil. So yeah, nice and crisp. You can hear that, and I'll be using the mullein for respiratory problems, clears congestion and such, and the mint and yarrow and basil is for when you have a cold. So everything looks good. This is free, no electricity required. It's just an overall excellent bag. It worked very well. So Timbo and I would give this a 4-paw seal of excellence. Thank you for
I am preparing the pineapple weed that we dried a while ago to be able to go into the mixture, which is going to be catnip, wild lettuce, and the pineapple weed. And this is going to be for a sleep aid capsule. Now I just take the material that we want to puree. There are two parts to the capsule. There is a body and then there is a cap, and we are going to put the body on this side. This is a little tray to help it go in. This right here is the top. It's going to go on this side. There's 100 of them, 10 by 10. It helps when there are little kids' fingers that can put all these together. We now are ready to add the herbs. We are now adding the herbs. We're outside, so some of it is blowing away. That's all right. We're just going to pour it in, and we're just going to spread it out nice and even. And then we are going to get the tamper pushed down. And that really pushes it inside of the capsule. Alright, now that we have all that in, we are ready to encapsulate. So I'm going to put this, which is a guide, onto the tops. It holds them in and also guides the tops onto the body. You can see the spring right there. And so what we're going to do is now compress it together. That comes off. Now we have all the capsules. And then I'm just going to go through and do a finish close for each one. So now that we have them all pressed together, this is what 100 of the pills that you make looks like. Just get a container to put them in. Then after you fill the bag, make sure you have it labeled. I like doing it with something that's inside. Even with permanent marker on the outside of the bag, that wears off. Have fun.
Hi, I'm Steve Neal, and welcome to A Catastrophic Event. Before our interview, David Wilson filmed several plants that we were unable to include in our talk. Today, I'm going over those plants and will tell you the best growing conditions for each plant and then give a rundown of its medicinal uses. I hope this video will come in handy for you. Chamomile needs well-drained soil in the full sun. Chamomile has been used traditionally to treat stomach cramps, irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, indigestion, diarrhea, gas, and colic. It helps relax muscle contractions, particularly in the smooth muscles that make up the intestines. Yarrow prefers full sun and well-drained soil. Once established, yarrow is highly drought tolerant, making an excellent plant for low-maintenance dry gardens and for xeriscaping. Yarrow leaves and flowers of the plant are used to make teas, tinctures, and ointments for colds and flu, to help reduce fever and promote sweating. They are used topically for wounds and skin conditions such as eczema. Some people also take yarrow internally for digestive problems such as cramps and anxiety. The root of the yarrow plant can also be used in promoting sweating and reducing fever. Oregon grape grows in a variety of conditions, but it does best in partial sun with rich, acidic, well-drained, moist to dry soil. Oregon grape is used for stomach ulcers and upset stomach and can be used as a bitter tonic to treat infections and to cleanse the bowels. When applied to the skin, Oregon grape can help with psoriasis. Oxeye daisy grows best in full sun and well-drained soil, and once established, they are drought resistant. Oxeye daisy is used for the common cold, cough, bronchitis, fever, sore mouth and throat, liver and gallbladder complaints, loss of appetite, muscle spasms, and fluid retention. White campion grows best in full to partial sun in well-drained, fertile, loamy soils. It is commonly found in fields, meadows, woodlands, gardens, and in recently disturbed areas like roadsides and waste areas. White campion is used as a sedative and to treat conditions such as insomnia, anxiety, and digestive problems. The plant's leaves and stems have also been used as a poultice to soothe skin irritations and wounds. Hemp nettle grows best in well-drained soils in both sunny and partially shaded locations and can be found in disturbed areas, roadsides, and waste grounds. Hemp nettle is used as a tea for various diseases of the digestive system, including stomach ulcers, colitis, chronic pancreatitis, and liver diseases. Hi, I'm Steve Neal, and I welcome you to A Catastrophic Event Reviews. Today, I want to discuss the 9th edition of the book, Weeds of the West. Foraging is not only a fun thing to do, but it's a great way to add new cuisines to your diet, help reduce food and medicine bills, and protect yourself in an increasingly unstable world. Foraging does, however, come with a risk of misidentifying plants, which can have deadly results. This is why I endorse this easy-to-use 628-page guide that I have used to identify weeds since it was one of my college textbooks for my Associate in Applied Science or AAS degree in landscape turf. It includes descriptions, habitats, and characteristics of 350 species of weeds from the western United States and Hawaii. The 900-plus pictures clearly show the early stages of growth, the mature plant, and their distinguishing characteristics, which can help identify each weed in the book. Weeds of the West is indexed according to each plant family and is a great book to help you identify plants that compete with native plants, horticultural and agricultural crops, and those that can poison livestock and people. I can easily give this book a Timbo 4-Paw seal of excellence. Because hope is not a plan, we aim to help you become more self-sufficient by providing links to materials to aid you on your journey. So thank you for watching this video. We hope you have an excellent day. Hi, I'm Steve Neal. Welcome to A Catastrophic Event Reviews. Today I'm going over Edible Wild Plants, a North American Field Guide to over 200 Natural Foods by Thomas S. Elias and Peter Dykman. I bought this book to enhance my growing library and foraging, a skill that is not only a fun hobby, but may become a lifesaver as threats to our supply chain continue to escalate. This 286-page book has a lot to love. It's packed with 400 color photos and detailed information on more than 200 species of edible plants across North America. The detail or the pictures are wonderful. The details are excellent. Habitat, how to identify it, the flowering heads, fruits, picked leaves, preparation. It talks about poisonous lookalikes, related edible plants, none but similar to dandelion in the earliest stages. The symbols are down here. These symbols are really nifty, and they cover all kinds of areas. You can, if you see some under the trail, you can grab some to nibble. It can be turned into salad or cooked greens, underground vegetable. It can be made into a hot beverage or a cold beverage. You can pickle it. It can be made a seasoning or a thickener. Of course, it has the caution: minor reaction may result from eating wrong part or too much of the right part or eating the wrong stage. And of course, poisonous. Severe reaction results from eating wrong part or eating at the wrong stage. So, and every plant has those symbols. So once you learn the series of symbols, you are able to just go to town. But the best thing about this guide is that it's arranged according to season, not plant name. This characteristic makes it incredibly easy to identify the plant because the pictures show it at the stage of growth you are interested in harvesting. And let's go back to that. That's in the contents. See, spring, summer, autumn, winter. So if you want a summer plant, you're out wandering around, you want some summer dinner, and you see this little guy, so you go up and you go, oh, it's an American hazelnut. This is what you can do to it at this stage of the summer. Let's see, you see this guy, so you go, oh, silver buffalo berry. I'm going to go ahead and snag some of those for nibbling along the way. It's fruit. You can make coffee out of it. You can make an iced tea, make it into a pie or jam or jelly. There's so much in this book that is just incredible. Also included in this book is recipes for turning this wonderful stuff into jellies or jams or even pies. So it's a fun book, and it also lists, which is really super important, poisonous look-alike plants. So it tells you right up front, okay, this is another plant you need to be aware of because it looks like this, and you can be, as a heads up. And then it also has a separate section, which is here in the back, for those truly toxic plants such as hemlock, false hellebores, blue and yellow flags. And finally, it discusses how and why to avoid overharvesting so these plants remain in that area for future enjoyment. The only detraction for this book I can see is that while the pictures are great, there's only one or two for each plant. This fact could lead to some misidentification in the field, so I recommend having other plant guides in addition to this one since you can't be too sure. Overall, I give this a 3.8 paws on the Timbo scale of excellence, and it is a must-have for those looking to cash in on the greatest food market and natural pharmacy in existence, nature itself. So thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you have an excellent day. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Steve Neal. Welcome to A Catastrophic Event Reviews. Today I'm going over Nature's Garden, a guide to identifying, harvesting, and preparing edible wild plants by Samuel Thayer. I've been building a library of foraging books for years because I believe becoming more self-sufficient is an essential skill to have as events worldwide threaten our way of life. But it wasn't until the beginning of 2024 when I began using elderberry, black pepper, cinnamon, ginger, and turmeric as tinctures, teas, and supplements to calm my allergies that I considered using more herbal medicine and foraging for food. So, it was at that time I began to look seriously through my foraging books. Of the several I own, Nature's Garden is the best book on the subject I have seen. There is so much in it, it's hard to find a place to begin. First, it only covers 41 plants in 512 pages, and Thayer wastes none of those pages. In it you see 512 full-color photos detailing several key plant details, including leaves, stems, flowers, and how they look throughout the year, helping even amateurs to tell the difference between a wild carrot and poison hemlock. Speaking of which, there is an entire chapter on wild carrot and hemlock, and it is amazing. Here's wild carrot. This is what it looks like. And voila. You see the big old skull and crossbones? That is hemlock. And it shows exquisite pictures on the difference. Here's the stems. This is what happens when you wipe on poison hemlock. You get white. This is the flowers. They compare the two. This is wild carrot. This is poison hemlock. It is very descriptive. It covers several old reliable plants such as black cherries, wild plums, wild strawberries, blueberries, cranberries, and huckleberries, but with several new recipes and ideas on using them. But it also covers so many new plants that we rarely think of for foraging, such as amaranth, which is right here, wood sorrel, which is this little guy right here, sow thistle, which is way back here, sow thistle, ugly looking plant, cow parsnip, which is right here, chicory, which is back here, and salsify, which is, okay. We have chicory, which is right here. And then we have salsify, which is right here. Thayer states that he chose the plants he did for this volume to represent a variety of produce types: nuts, greens, shoots, roots, tubers, teas, fruits, berries, seeds, and flowers, and a variety of landscapes: landscape, desert, city lawn, mountain, garden, wilderness, swamp, farm, woodlot. He did a great job since most of the country and Canada has several of these plants. Then he takes a deep dive into how to find and identify which parts are used, when and how to harvest them, and how to prepare them for the table. Besides the good plants, he does an excellent job of discussing the poisonous ones, as you saw with the skull and crossbones, even spending a great deal of time on the deadly nightshade family, which is the deadly nightshade family. One of the highlights of the book has to be the 51-page book within a book about turning acorns into food. Absolutely fascinating. He goes into all these different types of acorns, what you use them for, how to prepare them. It's just the myth of this. It's just an amazing, amazing book. His writing is often humorous, very detail-oriented, and to some, maybe overbearing. But I'd rather have too much information on a subject with potentially deadly results than not enough. This must-have book easily earns the 4 paws on a Timbal scale of excellence. In fact, reading it has caused me to look into his other books from my library as well. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you have an excellent day. Hi, I'm Steve Neal. Welcome to A Catastrophic Event Reviews. Today I want to discuss the National Audubon Society Field Guide to Trees, Western Edition. When I was in college working on my Associate in Applied Science degree in Landscape Turf, I had 3 reference books about trees. The first was my textbook, The Manual of Woody Landscape Plants by Michael Durr, and the other 2 were the Eastern and Western editions of this field guide. While Durr's manual is the Bible for horticulturalists, the Field Guide to Trees is the reference book for hikers, campers, and anyone wanting to know what kind of tree they're looking at. I love the waterproof cover, the slim size, and the tough binding. My copy still looks great after all these years of use, but the wealth of knowledge contained within that cover is what makes this book a keeper. The guide showcases 312 trees ranging from the Pacific Coast to Central Texas and the Rockies in 855 color photo pictures. The beautiful images of leaves, barks, trees, and fruits are organized by leaf type, such as needle, scale, simple, compound, etc., flower, color, and fruits and cones. See, it's really quite amazing. Needle leaf, scale leaf, and it gives the trees that they go with: pines, spruce, firs, larches, Douglas fir. Go to the next page. You have untouched simple leaves, untoothed simple leaves, toothed simple leaves, belong to willows, catalpas, eucalyptus, oaks. Then you get flower keys, reddish flowers, yellow flowers, greenish flowers, cream-colored flowers. You have cones, berry-like fruit, fleshy fruit, nuts, acorns, pods, keys, tufted fruit, balls and capsules like the London plane tree. And then you get into the good stuff. You get into the pictures. And these pictures are beautiful. It shows the bark, shows the branch, a branch with the leaves on it, what you would see in the tree or in the wild. Below the pictures are the common name, i.e. red maple. It gives the approximate size of the leaves. And then it tells you the page number, page 537. So you go over here to page 537, and it has a wealth of information. Red maple, scarlet maple, swamp maple, is Acer rubrum. So a description, large planted tree with narrow, rounded, compact crown and red flowers, fruit, leaf stalks, and autumn foliage. Gives the height, diameter, leaves. It gives all kinds of information, the bark, twigs, flowers, fruit, the habitat, the range. Then it gives a little more information on the bottom. While most spectacular in autumn, the red flowers, fruit, and twigs make this species handsome much of the year. Pioneers made ink and cinnamon brown and black dyes from the bark extract. Recently, I have begun to forage for food and medicines. This is one of the books I will take on my expeditions, and anyone looking at our outdoors as a pharmacy or grocery store would benefit from it as well. The National Audubon Society Field Guide to Trees earns a 4 paws on the Timbo Scale of Excellence. Like I said, it is an amazing book. It has wonderful glossaries, indexes. I mean, it is a truly amazing book, and it is the de facto Bible for plant identification. So thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you have an excellent day. Hi, I'm Steve Neal, and I welcome you to A Catastrophic Event Reviews. Today I want to discuss one of the best books I ever bought from my herbal medicine library. My first foray into natural medicine was taking beetroot powder to lower my hypertension. Because it helped, I searched out other natural cures for my ailments, like mullein for respiratory issues and elderberry syrup for COVID-19. Now I use turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, elderberry, and black pepper tinctures and supplements to control my allergies. Not only have I been able to reclaim a part of my life the allergies had stolen, I've not gotten sick since I started them. In addition to the many health benefits I've discovered with herbal medicine is the growing sense of security in our increasingly chaotic world. I know I'm developing skills that will be extremely valuable should something disrupt our supply chain and limit our access to food and pharmaceuticals. So I began searching out books with the broadest information available to help myself and others. The first book I bought was School of Natural Medicine by Dr. John R. Christopher. Originally published in 1976, this book has become the de facto herbalism textbook. I bought the 16th edition, which now has a glossary of terms and new formula names. Dr. Christopher's natural medicine career began during the early years of World War II, when he developed an herbal formula to help a soldier with severe impetigo. Afterwards, he created natural remedies for conditions ranging from high blood pressure, skin loss, and arthritis to respiratory ailments, most of which are now available in health food stores worldwide. This book breaks down those remedies, allowing everyone from beginners to seasoned herbal practitioners to empower themselves through herbal medicine. This 672-page edition is a treasure trove of information covering over 110 herbs, including their Latin and common names, botanical descriptions, horticultural and storage information, preparation, dosage, administration, medical usage, as well as multiple formulations for each herb. It also contains the symptoms, causes, and natural treatment for over 80 diseases and conditions, plus recipes for internal cleansing and purification, a simplified and comprehensive index, and the recipes for all of Dr. Christopher's formulas. This book easily deserves the Timbo 4-Paw Seal of Excellence, and it also deserves a place on your bookcase and in your library. Because hope is not a plan, we aim to help you become more self-sufficient by providing links to materials to aid you on your journey. So thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you have an excellent day. Hi, I'm Steve Neal. Welcome to A Catastrophic Event Reviews. Today I'm going over Wildflowers of the Pacific Northwest by Mark Turner and Phyllis Gustafson. As a gardener with over 25 years experience and enough education to be dangerous, I can say I love plants, and no one does a better job of showcasing and identifying plants than Timber Press Publishing. Whether it's one of Alan Armitage's books on perennials, vines, annuals, or native flowers, or Michael Durr's guide to woody trees and shrubs, no other publisher consistently puts out a better book. I know, I have dozens of them. With Wildflowers of the Pacific Northwest, Timber Press pulled out all the stops. Whether you are a hiker, plant lover, or forager, this American Horticulture Society Book Award-winning 512-page paperback is a perfect traveling buddy for excursions into the great outdoors. This volume has 1,248 superb color photographs highlighting 1,220 commonly encountered species of perennials, annuals, and shrubs, both native and non-native, covering Oregon, Washington, Northern California, and British Columbia. Each page has 3 pictures on it, a brief description next to it, and a map showing the range of the plant. The book is small enough to fit into your backpack or glove compartment, yet durable enough to be used in the field. It even has a handy 7-inch ruler in the back to help with plant identification. The front and back inside covers have line drawings identifying flower and plant parts for easier plant identification, and there's enough room on the margins to write notes. The index includes the plant's Latin and common names, organized by flower color first, and then the number of petals, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and composite. Like daisy with lots of petals, the book makes flower identification a snap. For instance, these are the white flowers. These are the yellow flowers. These are the orange flowers. This is the red flowers, red or pink. These are blue or violet. And these are green and brown. Then, so you go up here and you see it has 3 or 6 petals, 4 petals, 5 irregular petals, 5 symmetrical petals, ovary superior, 5 symmetrical petals, ovary inferior, 5 irregular petals forming a tube, 5 petals joined into a bell, composite flowers, and many petals. The only drawback to this book is that many of the pictures only show the flower, making it a challenge to identify the plant if it's not in bloom. And some of the descriptions are short. But without any hesitation, I rate this book a 3.9 paws on the Timbo scale of excellence because this is the best field guide for wildflowers in the Pacific Northwest and a must-have for plant lovers anywhere. So thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you have an excellent day. Hello, and welcome to a catastrophic event. I'm Steve, and this is Timbo. My daughter asked me to do this video on why natural medicine means so much to me. So, I'll begin by saying I wasn't aware of having any allergies when I started a new position with a manufacturing company back in mid-2018. My job was to inspect incoming parts and verify they matched the blueprints we had on file. Because those parts were raw steel, they came coated in rust-inhibiting fluids, which would get on my gloves and eventually onto my face as I wiped away my sweat. This is a picture of me with Bitsy and Miko before I started having any symptoms. The first signs of trouble appeared 3 months after I started. I developed a slight rash on the left side of my face, just beside my mouth. I treated it with over-the-counter rash medicines, but it continued to grow, and within a few weeks, it covered the left side of my face and began on the right side as well. Within a few more weeks, I had to go to urgent care because my left eye had swollen shut and the rash had spread over most of my face. The doctor told me I had severe contact dermatitis due to chemical exposure and that I needed to find a different job. Since my position was temporary and the company couldn't offer me another, they laid me off. I started to recover when I was away from the job and went to a dermatologist to get help. This doctor completely misdiagnosed my ailment and prescribed medicines which caused my condition to explode. The rash raced down my neck, covering most of my chest and back. My eyes swelled shut, and I was experiencing a burning sensation over my face unlike any pain I've ever experienced before or since. Because of my doctor's misdiagnosis, I lost my labor and industry claim and now was almost incapacitated by the ever-increasing illness and without a means of support. So I went back to work. My sickness went from bad to worse as I went to several different doctors trying to find an answer until one tested me for allergies. He ordered a full battery of testing on me. The test lasted a week, and the diagnosis changed my life forever and started me into my allergy maze. He found I have 15 chemical allergies, most of which I can't even pronounce, and I have different reactions to each of them depending on how I contact it, but formaldehyde is typical. Any exposure to formaldehyde via touch almost immediately causes the skin around my nose to heat up and swell while my lips and mouth begin to go numb. Exposure via breathing causes an asthmatic attack, and my mouth and lips go numb. This chemical is found throughout a workplace because it is used in so many things, including adhesives, balsams, caulking, clothes, personal hygiene products, food packaging, glues, inks, lacquers, paints, paper products, including toilet paper, napkins, and paper plates, pine resin, furniture, carpets, sealants, varnishes, soaps, wood dust, and smoke. Formaldehyde also goes by several names, including formalin, methylene oxide, methylaldehyde, methanol, HCHO, formic aldehyde, oxymethane, formal, oxymethylene, morbicid, Veracur, methylene glycol, formalin 40, BFV, Phanoform, Formalith, FYDE, HOCH, Carsan, Lysoform, Superlysoform, Methan 21, melamine formaldehyde resin. My other chemical allergies are just as bad, but from this test, I could begin to find out what I needed to change to start getting better. I could only wear 100% cotton clothes and use cotton dog leashes, linen, washcloths, towels, and hats. I have to sit on a wooden furniture or put a cotton sheet on a chair if I am to touch it. I must wear titanium nose pads on my glasses because I am allergic to the plastic nose pieces. I cannot use commercially produced soaps, toothpaste, shampoos, deodorants, or shaving creams. I can't use most first aid bandages, ointments, gels, or sprays. Perfumes, deodorants, cleaners, air fresheners, dryer sheets, soaps, and candles cause almost instant reactions, forcing me to use my inhaler, and this was only the beginning. I have had several life-threatening responses to medicines. My mouth goes numb and my tongue swells, forcing me to use an EpiPen to calm my reaction. This is a picture of what I looked like at that time. After the test, I lost my next position and I had to go to the hospital twice because of symptoms. I was referred to an allergist who ran several more tests on me, and she found I have over 55 more allergies, including apples, corn, beef, chocolate, chicken, lettuce, milk, potatoes, and rice, along with several dust, pollen, trees, grasses, weeds, and molds. This is a picture of me 2 days into cleaning up some pine trees that had hit my house during a windstorm. In the end, I was denied any help from Washington Labor and Industry. I am forced to try to make a living out of my house, where I can control my environment as I try to function while being allergic to pretty much everything. Through several dermatologists, allergists, and just plain quacks, I found a few creams that help my skin conditions and a go-to drug, prednisone. That is until last winter. My reactions were getting so frequent and severe that I was taking prednisone weekly to control them. I prayed and prayed for a solution and found an article about turmeric. Also, at that time, I caught COVID-19. Since I can't take any over-the-counter cold medicines, I looked into natural cures that might help, and I found elderberries. I used elderberry syrup and found something incredible. It helped with my allergies. Not a lot, but enough to notice. After doing research, I made up a couple of tinctures. One contains turmeric and black pepper, and the other contains elderberry, ginger, and cinnamon. I also began drinking turmeric tea and taking turmeric and other supplements. Within a few weeks, I stopped needing prednisone to get over the rough times. Then, for the first time in over 5 years, the skin on my face began to lose its lichenification and become smooth again. I can now go outside on a sunny day for a few minutes, something I couldn't do before. I can let water touch my face, and there are so many other things as well. In other words, natural medicine helped me reclaim some of my life, something modern medicine could not. I know there is a place for modern medicine, but I know now that God created the world's most fantastic pharmacy in nature, and I intend to explore a lot more of it. Thank you for listening. I'm excited about this interview and look forward to collaborating with David in the future, and I hope you will as well. We are entering into some very troubling times, and preparing for them as best you can will only help you in the future. Remember, hope is not a course of action, and today we need some serious action. Thank you from A Catastrophic Event for watching this video, and we appreciate a like, a share, and a comment. And Lord willing, we will see you again. Bye.